AITA for not helping my husband with our toddler when he has to sleep for work because he kept telling me I do nothing? I, 32F, have been married to my husband, Dan, 34M, for 6 years. We have a wonderful toddler, Sophie, 2F, who is the light of our lives. Dan works night shifts as a nurse, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. Balancing our schedules and caring for Sophie has always been a bit of a challenge, but we've managed to make it work. At least, we did until recently. Dan's job is demanding, and I understand that he needs to sleep during the day to be rested for his night shifts. I've always tried to be supportive and handle most of the childcare during the day so he can get the sleep he needs. However, lately, Dan has been making comments about how he feels like I do nothing all day. He says that because I'm home, my job is easy compared to his. These comments have been building up over time, and they've really started to get under my skin. I try to explain to Dan that taking care of Sophie is a full-time job in itself. I handle all the household chores, cooking, cleaning, and errands, on top of looking after a very active and demanding toddler. But no matter how much I try to communicate this, he just doesn't seem to get it. Last week, we had a particularly rough night. Sophie was teething and woke up multiple times, crying and in pain. I was exhausted from the previous days of non-stop care and desperately needed some rest myself. Dan had just come off a night shift and needed to sleep during the day. When Sophie woke up again in the morning, I asked Dan if he could help for a bit so I could catch a quick nap. He snapped at me, saying he needed his sleep for work and that I do nothing all day and should handle it. That was the breaking point for me. I was so hurt and angry that I decided if he thought I did nothing, I would let him see what it was really like. So, the next day, when Sophie woke up and Dan needed to sleep, I left her with him and went out to run some errands. I made sure to be gone long enough for him to get a taste of what my days are like. When I came back, Dan was frazzled and exhausted. Sophie had been a handful, and he hadn't gotten much sleep. He was furious with me for leaving him to handle everything, saying I was being petty and irresponsible. I told him that I needed him to understand how hard it is to manage everything and that his constant belittling of my role was unfair and hurtful. Now, Dan is barely speaking to me, and the tension in our home is palpable. He thinks I was in the wrong for leaving him when he needed to sleep for work, and I think he was in the wrong for not appreciating everything I do. We're at an impasse, and I don't know how to move forward from here. So, viewers, AITA for not helping my husband with our toddler when he has to sleep for work because he kept telling me I do nothing? Should I have handled the situation differently? How can we find a way to respect and appreciate each other's roles and responsibilities in our family?